I remember the moment that I realized that I wasn't asking for too much. I was actually asking the wrong version of myself. And I realized that we have multiple versions of ourselves, right? If you think about it, we have like a lazy version of ourselves, we have a procrastinating version of ourselves, we have a version of ourselves that's energetic, that takes action, that does everything that they need to do when they need to do it, exactly how they need it to be done. If you really think about it, we are dealing with multiple versions of ourselves throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, and throughout the year. Sometimes we are asking the wrong version of ourselves for help. We're asking the wrong version of ourselves to help us out with something, to help us get to a new level, or to help us do something, accomplish something. We need to make sure that we are speaking to the correct version of ourselves at all times. This is not always easy to do, but I will help you figure out how to speak to the most empowering and the most confident version of yourself. So, when it comes to connecting with the most empowering, the most confident version of yourself, there are a few things that we need to consider and that we need to think about. So, the first thing is, how am I feeling at this moment right now? Our feelings are, our emotions are such an important piece to this puzzle of becoming the new version of ourselves, right? It's about how we feel. Think about it. How you feel, your emotions are your guidance system. It's what guides you throughout the world. Think about it. When someone says something hurtful to you, right? You feel sad, right? You feel emotional. Maybe you feel like crying, right? Your emotions are guiding you to what you are feeling at the moment, right? If someone says something amazing and beautiful to you, you're feeling happy, you're feeling excited, you're maybe even smiling or maybe even blushing, right? Your emotions are guiding you based off of how you are feeling inside. So if you're feeling confident, if you're feeling happy, then you are more likely, right, to be a confident person. You are more likely to step into the most empowering, most confident version of yourself when you're feeling good, when you're in a good mood. So that's the top number one thing to think about. I remember for years and years and years, I've wasted so much time on the wrong version of myself. I wasted so much time on the version of me who was still stuck in her old mentality, still stuck in her old thoughts, still stuck in negative thoughts, anxiety patterns, depression pattern, woe is me, victim mentality. I was trying to build and create a life, a great life out of the version of me that was still broken, that was still needed to be fixed, that I still had a lot to work on, right? I was a work in progress. There was so much progress that I needed to make. But I kept on trying and trying to become a different person and a better person, but I still remained the same, right? There's no way that you can try to become a better person but remain that same version of you. It's always going to be a push and a pull, a push and a pull. There is going to be a moment though where you are living your old life but still becoming the newer version of yourself. That does exist, but you can't sit in two seats. There's no possible way that you can sit in two seats. And what do I mean by that? You can't try to step into a new self but stay the old version of yourself. So I can't say I would love to be a chef, but I don't have a cookbook, but I don't have any cooking utensils, but I didn't prepare myself. I didn't set up my mise en place, if I'm saying it right. I don't have any tools. I don't have anything to work with, right? As a chef. So how can I call myself a chef? How can I say I want to be a chef, but I have nothing that show and prove that I am a chef or I am even trying to become a chef, right? So that's the whole thing. When we are trying to become a new, different version of ourselves, we need tools, right? We need habits. We need positive habits that we can create in our lives to become that better version of yourself. So this is what I'm here for. I'm Telly, and I'm going to teach you how to reset your life and actually create habits that actually stick with you, that you can actually do. And it takes like 5 minutes a day, maybe even more. When it comes to working on yourself, there's really no amount of time because it's always going to be a work in progress, right? So there's really no amount of time that you can say, oh, it only is going to take you 5 minutes a day. Yes, maybe that certain activity is going to take 5 minutes a day, but we're always going to be a work in progress. So I feel like me personally, at any time of the day, I can start doing my affirmations, or I can switch around some negative thought to a positive thought. I feel like that's always going to be a work in progress. Just like when the cell phone is on, right? Some of the apps are going to be always running in the background, even if your phone is off, right? Some of the apps are still going to run in the background. The weather app, that's going to continuously change. The maps app, the apps are going to still be running in the background, even when the phone is off, right? So we have to continuously make sure that we are working on ourselves, even if we feel like I don't want to do it today or I'm not in the mood today. We still need to create those little habits that can change completely. And no, we are not going to beat up on ourselves. If we realize that we're not working on ourselves for that day, we're going to give ourselves some grace and we're going to give ourselves some credit. And we're going to say, okay, maybe I didn't make any progress today, or maybe I didn't make an effort today, but there is still tomorrow, but there is still right now, right here in this moment that I can find to work on myself. It is so important to find time in the day to make sure you work on yourself, even if it is 5 minutes, even if you do have a 5 minute timer and you're like, look, this is all the time that I got to work on myself. So let's go, ready, set, go. If that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But the more and more that you see that you work on yourself, the more and more that you're going to love it, and the more time you're going to spend on it. Because once you work on yourself, you see things change, you see your life start to shift, and of course, you're going to want to work on yourself more because you're going to want to see more of those shifts, right? So if you would like to shift, if you love what I'm saying and you want to work with me closer, and you want to actually have some other women and ladies on the same path as you, make sure you join my school community. It's called the Self Love Reset. I would love to have you there. I'm on school. Come check me out. And I'm going to leave the link in the description. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any videos. I'll be posting a video once a week, and I'm so excited to share everything that I learned and know with you guys. Until next time, make sure you take care of yourself and each other. Later.